Welcome to another update on how our research is going here. The farmlet trial is what this is about, where we are testing different levels of nitrogen fertilizer in our paddocks, in our different farmlets. The farmlet where we are here is a farmlet that receives half the normal amount of nitrogen, and it has ryegrass and clover in it. And as you can see, it has no seed head formation. We are going into autumn, so we only have leaf growth in these paddocks, and that's a clear change in what we have in this time of the year. We are in this farmlet 3 paddock, half the amount of nitrogen. The control that we have has a normal amount of nitrogen, and then we have a farmlet where 0 nitrogen goes in. This year pasture production, pasture growth has been about similar to last year, maybe slightly below, and that might mostly be because it hasn't been as good a clover year this year. Whilst here we see a fair bit of clover in this paddock. There's large areas of clover, and you see that everywhere here, and that clover this time of the year is at its highest rate, but our botanic composition does show that this year clover is a little bit below last year, and we might therefore have slightly less production, but we still hope that we can at the end of the season get about the same overall year production. This paddock is what we call a farmlet 3 paddock. This paddock gets half the normal amount of nitrogen, and as you can see, this paddock differs from the previous one because we have plantain in the mix here. It has clover and ryegrass, so you see a lot of clover here, you see some ryegrass popping out, and you see the plantain. And as you can see, everything is very leafy. This time of the year what we have is much less pasture growth, and in our trial the cows are still producing a fair bit of milk. The herd test, a full day herd test last week showed that the cows are still doing about 2.2 milk solids or so. They might not be doing that every day, but that's where they still are at, so their appetite is still okay. Sunlight is much less now, and we are getting very close to the changeover to winter time again. Less sunlight is less pasture growth, so we are and will stay now below break even. And that does mean that what we grow in a pasture, what we grow in a paddock, isn't enough for the cows anymore. And that's why we have started to feed silage to fill the feed gap that we have. And as you can see, this is a paddock where the cows will go in tonight, and the silage is already fed out. And this is silage harvested earlier in the year from this same farmlet. So we're feeding back what we make in silage when we have surplus grass. And this silage also helps feeding the cows a little bit of fiber, because it's only leaf what they get, and that helps in their rumen function. So that's where we are at with our farmlet trial. Pasture growth below break even. We fill that gap a little bit with silage, and we'll see how that progresses now further in the season.